life is really fun. Life is really miraculous. But you get tied up in the stories in your head, and you live here and not here. And the mind very skilled at making disaster out of it. To live life with excitement. Let me see, we'll get through this because there's more things I want to talk about besides this. But when you get a taste of this sweet fruit, your spiritual practice becomes a fun part of your life and not a chore. This is what I'm really pointing you to. You know, most people, it's like, oh, spiritual practice, oh, I gotta do this, oh, I gotta do that. What changes is you start feeling the results of your spiritual practice. You start feeling all the things that I described. And maybe it's not consistent. Very likely that it isn't. But you feel them for a moment. And you feel home. And you go, aha, this is very important. This is how I want to experience life. I want to be in this space all the time, or as much as I can be. And my spiritual practice, I can tell you, is tons of fun. All of our adventure club trips, that's part of my spiritual practice. Getting up and exercising and meditating and making good food and eating healthy. I love it. I love it. It doesn't mean that I'm not busy sometimes, or that I'm not tired sometimes, or that sometimes I don't want to go ride the bike. But I really love taking care of myself. When you get a taste of this sweet fruit, your spiritual practice becomes a fun part of life and not a chore. Why wouldn't you spend your days and efforts creating the most fantastic inner state possible? What's more important than that? There really is time. Why wouldn't you spend your days and efforts creating the most fantastic inner state possible? Your outer world will then be a reflection of the beauty of your inner world. Most people are doing the opposite. They're trying to make their outer world a certain way so that their inner world feels good. Does that work? For a moment. And then what happens? It changes. This world, this experience is bound to impermanence and change. And so when you're saying that out there needs to be a certain way so I can feel good in here, it doesn't make sense. Because that is always changing. So there may be a moment where things are like the way you really want them, and your mind is satisfied, and so your mind calms down. Your mind shuts up for a minute, and then your nature shines through. But then things change, and your mind says, wait a minute, I don't like that. And it's gone again. It's the opposite.